What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stack. Welcome back if you've been here before. I'm Neon Mushroom, and I'm adjusting sounds to try to make sure the mix is good. Because there's a few announcements. Not big ones. Stuff you probably caught on Sunday, but some stuff I want to just make very clear. And I'm going to turn this down in my head because I just can't even hear myself think. But we are going to be, we're going to be doing some stuff soon. For instance, what the fuck, do you have FEI powers, Renegade? I sure do. It's part of my, it's my net ability. Alright, so what we're doing here is we're going to be playing some Standard on today's stream. Normally you'd see Trigger on Monday. You're not seeing Trigger today because this is his finals week for his, he's in school. He's actually in school for this channel, primarily. He's doing a lot of reading up on, he's become our resident graphic designer. A lot of things like this layout you see here. This is all done by Calvin. That's one of the things he provides to the channel. And he's been super valuable as the second half of the editing team for the videos as well on the main channel. If you're here and you're not on our main channel, maybe go check out MTG The Stack on YouTube. But speaking of YouTube channels, if you watch our Sunday streams, right, you will notice that the games from those EDH streams, which are like long form EDH Commander marathons, are usually like between 4 and 5 hours. We re-upload each individual game from these streams onto YouTube under MTG The Stack Rebound. Now, this type of content does not go on Rebound because this is not Commander content, and we try to make sure to put everything where it has a home where the audience would actually want to see said content. We did a post in our Discord, which is full of just awesome patrons. And we had a poll. We had a long conversation with some of our high tier patrons on potential names, and we almost went with MTG The Stack New Wave, because that's just it rolled off the tongue nice. But by popular demand, there's going to be a third channel called MTG The Stack Horizons, which is what you might be watching this on, which is kind of a half joke. If you know, you know. If you don't, you're probably very new to this type of content, which is 60 card to 80 card, 15 card sideboard Magic the Gathering content. But that's going to be a channel that you'd be able to find. I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking on it because we're going to be loading the channel with a ton of content, because eventually that channel is going to be a home to produced content as well, and not just streams. But that's for a future conversation for us to have, not today. So with that in mind, today we're going to get into the stream itself. Speaking of which, Cataclysm, what's going on? Renegade, what's going on? What's going on? Who am I missing? I know there's a couple more people than that, maybe not. No, it's just me, it's just us two and Neon Mushroom. And I fucking love that guy. He's the best. Anyway, we're going to be playing Standard. We're going to be playing, if you looked at the description of the video, Blue-Black Lier, which is a deck I've done very well with before Crimson Vow was brought into the equation. Covert Go Blue. I actually really like his content. If you watch us, there's a good chance you follow him as well. He did a video on YouTube called like 8 Thirst, because you're playing a bunch of Thirst for Blood and a bunch of Thirst for Discovery. And I like that list enough where I adapted it to a best of 3 list, and we're going to kind of look at that here. So let me switch scenes. By the way, let me know how the audio mix is. But yeah, oh, Cataclysm, the meeting was hella fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. We're going to be doing a little bit more of that, especially with the people from the higher patron tiers. No shade if you're like a $5 patron or even a $1 patron. We love you. But we really need a way to like, it's so icky because we're talking about money, and there's no way to not come across as an icky fucking human when you're talking about money, right? Because we have to make this sustainable. But there's certain people who just seem like they really want to be more a part of the daily goings on over here at the stack. And we figured the best way to do that was to give people a way to like shoehorn themselves into that. Otherwise, we just feel like we're leaving people out for no reason, and it's sticky. We're still figuring out how to deal with that. But that meeting was a blast. I look forward to the next one as well. I loved Sunny's impressions. If you were in there, those were a riot too. This is New Lier. All right, so let's go ahead and pop in and take a look at what we're dealing with for the deck itself. I've done some test runs of the deck. I'm pretty happy with it. This is very, very close to CGB's list. And CGB, like, that guy's really cool. I guess he lives in Michigan too. If we can get enough, what's the word for it? Pull, enough swag, enough, I don't know. I wanna collab with CGB is the punchline. Okay, so we've got a deck that's based around a couple Warlocks and Witches, Lier, Disciple of the Drowned, and then we've got Sedgemoor Witch. You've seen me do this before. This is not a new thing. Ooh. But we have adapted the deck to play Thirst for Discovery because it's just way more effective, and it fills your graveyard, which is really good, as a card advantage engine, along with a copy of Sorin the Mirthless. I've been impressed. I could see going to 2. I don't know that I would. Another thing I'm doing that CGB wasn't is I'm playing 2 Meat Hooks in the main, and I'm not playing any copies of, what's the name of that stupid blue-black card? I can't remember. It's the one where you top 2 cards of your opponent's library, it has flashback, and you can exile one and play it using any mana. It's fine in best of 1 because you can't always get access to, like, sometimes you run out of win cons and you're in best of 1 and you got to figure it out. We're in best of 3 and I don't think we need that card. And then we've got some Duresses, Bloodchief's Thirst, Removal, you know, Thirst for Discovery, Divide by Zero. The sideboard, we have some Wish spells, Mascot Exhibition, Art Teachings of the Archaics, Environmental Sciences. And then the sideboard's very stock. This deck already kind of knows what tools it wants to fight what. A couple of Rays of Enfeeblement for mono white, a couple, 3 Malevolent Hermits for the Izzet matchup, the Mirrors and mono white because they're phenomenal blockers and they can block twice. 3 copies of Go Blank and 2 copies of Shadow's Verdict. The Go Blank is for the Izzet matchup. Shadow's Verdict is for like all of the oddball aggro decks we've been seeing, in addition to some other stuff. Test of Talent's quite good again in a few matchups, but this is a pretty stock looking list, and I'm pretty happy with it. So that said, we're gonna run 5 fucking games today, and we're just gonna play the best we can. I'm now trying to make this content with the idea that it's going to YouTube after this in mind, while trying to maintain it as a stream. So I'm going to try to interact as much as possible, but I also want to make sure to play as good as I can, and I'm kind of a smooth-brained baby goo-goo gaga, not very good Magic the Gathering player. So forgive me if I seem to just go into the tank. Anyway, we're playing best of 3, traditional standard ranked with our new Lier deck, and we're just going to fucking hop in there. Cataclysm, he's same man. Oh, Void, doing fine. Finally, I've got a reasonable excuse to procrastinate. I'm glad I could be your excuse. Updated Lier hype, yeah, it seems amazing. Void, what's going on, buddy? What's going on, Cathar? What's going on, everyone who just hopped in? Sorry, I've been rambling, trying to get the interaction in as fast as possible because this deck is kind of hard to play. Like for me, if you're a good player, you probably find it easy, but for me, it's kind of hard to play. I would say go to Beat Street, but not the plan here. No, we're trying to grind. It's fine. Deck looks solid. Yeah, the deck looks reasonably good, and this hand looks close. If I was in the play, I think I'd be very, very quick to want to mulligan this. But since I'm on the draw, and I have access to removal spells, hand disruption spells, and a way to bridge from hopefully drawing our 3rd land into just like overwhelming our opponent with card advantage, I feel inclined to keep this hand. There's something interesting that happens with this deck where we want to be playing our lands in a different order than what is intuitive. And by that I mean, a lot of the time you want to lead on your basics so you can figure out how to use your pathways. But in this deck, it's usually just better to play everything but your basics first so your Thirst for Discovery is better. We're going to lead on Swamp, and we're just going to start killing things that our opponents play, and hope we can find our 3rd land drop. We can even afford to miss land drop number 3 on turn 3 as long as we draw it like the turn after. So it's not so bad. Sun Gold Sentinel's fine. I'd love to draw Black Swords to go Duress and Bloodchief's Thirst just to see if they have a little something spicy. They don't. I'm going to go... I don't think I'm going to double spell here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Bloodchief's Thirst. And then I'm going to play a... I guess I could just play this island to hold up Fading Hope. Maybe that's better than holding the basic for the Thirst for Discovery. Smooth Brain's got to stick together. Yep, thank you. Thank you for staying with me. I think we just let this happen. I don't think we're supposed to Fading Hope this thing necessarily. Maybe we are. Maybe we're supposed to like Fading Hope it, get the scry, and like on tap, and they have no aggression. I think that's fine. They're definitely gonna... Lier's good, but not... Well, maybe it is just good here. Because I can Thirst for Discovery and set up the Lier. I think I'm gonna keep the Lier there. So the idea here is like, we're going to get Elite Spellbindered again, for sure, but we're going to maintain our life total being at 20. They don't hit the Duress, so they're not protecting anything. But we're going to maintain protecting our life total, and they're going to do it again, but then we'll be able to Thirst for Discovery, and we'll be able to do some dancing. Also, if they Elite the Lier, I'm pretty okay with that. Here we're going to Thirst for Discovery first, though. Hopefully we draw a basic. We do not draw a basic, but I think I'm fine pitching this Duress and... perhaps this Clearwater Pathway. Weirdly, yes. A lot of new archetypes showed up. Izzet is still strong, but a lot more diverse. Yeah, and I do like that they're playing like Hullbreaker Horror and stuff. Have you guys read up on Alchemy? I know Calvin's been talking about Alchemy. So we're just going to meat hook for 2. We basically need to draw our 5th land, and we're in good shape here. We have access to these spells, so everything's a 5-drop, but with our 5th land, we're really going to be taken off. Alchemy is something I have mixed feelings on. If you guys want to, a little bit later, we can kind of get in to how we all feel about it. I'm like, I have a very split feeling on the entire thing. We're going to play Sedgemoor Witch. If they attack, we will block. Alchemy is ruffling some feathers, and I'm not sure if I care enough. Here's the thing, I get not liking Alchemy off the rip, but Magic, our community is super quick to just freak out. And I think that's probably a mistake. I think maybe we don't need to flip out like the second something seems a little bit, oh no, it's weird. I don't think we need to panic. Let's see, Brutal Cathar could flip. How do we want to do this turn? We could just play Lier and hope to on tap with it, but if they have like anything, another Brutal Cathar or something, we're going to be taking 4, 5, 6, 7, go to 10, and then they could like, also if we just play Lier, they man up the Faceless Haven, and they hit us for 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and we go to 5. I think I'd rather just divide by 0 now. Force them to replay their Brutal Cathar, and get an Environmental Sciences. I think that play seems fine. I could just jam Lier too. She's a 3/4. Let's just jam Lier. I actually think, like, maybe they have a second Brutal Cathar, but it has to be exactly Brutal Cathar number 2, or like Fateful Absence to deal with the Lier. Otherwise, they may like just man up their Faceless Haven and attack with these 2. And I'm pretty keen on taking 9 and on tapping with Bloodchief's Thirst and Fading Hope up. And if it is a Brutal Cathar and not a Fateful Absence, we can actually just remove the Brutal Cathar on our turn. Or no, I guess we can't because the Hope's in the graveyard, so that was a bit of an oversight on our part. We have to play something, or that Cathar flips. Yeah, we don't really want that. So I'm pretty comfortable taking 9 here. Use that good old life total as a resource. Hopefully there's no Fateful Absence. There's not. There's an Usher of the Fallen. So now we get to on-tap with our Lier. And what does that mean? It means a handful of things. Most of them reasonably good. The first thing I think we're going to do for sure is we're going to need to get this Brutal Cathar out of play. And if we want to Bloodchief's Thirst the Brutal Cathar, I suppose that's going to cost us 4 mana, but then we'll have Consider up plus Sedgemoor Witch, making it kind of difficult to gain any traction for them. So I think that's just our play. I think we're going to do this. We're going to pop the Brutal Cathar. We're going to gain a life when that happens. We'll go to 9, and then we'll have Sedgemoor Witch up, and we'll be able to Consider, making ourselves a little bit of a blocker, and then we'll untap with the Witch and a Warlock. And if we untap with Witch and Warlock, it's going to be bad. It means they're going to have a bad time. Yeah, if they can't deal with this right now, they're in a lot of danger. Like, if they man up this Faceless Haven, I'm pretty keen on bouncing the, what do I bounce here? What do I like bouncing here? The Usher the Fallen, I'd prefer if they didn't trigger. Although, they probably can't attack with the Usher. I'm going to let them attack here and see what they want to do. Okay, so they're just going to do that. So what I'm going to do here is Fading Hope. And I'm going to bounce Faceless Haven, triggering Sedgemoor Witch. They just concede, yeah. Basically, the rest of the game for them, and I could have maybe even sequenced that a little bit better. Maybe I was supposed to bounce, like, the Adversary. That doesn't make sense, but they probably just hold it and play it again the next turn, which would be pretty good for us. We were in a spot, kind of an unlosable spot there, if I'm being honest. Against Mono White, we want Hermits, not because they counter anything, just because they block 2 times. And then we're going to want Raise, because it's the best card of the matchup, along with Shadow's Verdicts. In this matchup, Sorin actually is probably better on the play than on the draw. So I'm fine taking out a Sorin. As far as these spells goes, I'm not super high on Fading Hope, but I don't want to cut any more than 1, just because they're very good at, like, resetting Brutal Cathars with their ability on the stack and stuff, and that can be quite good. They're also cheap with Sedgemoor Witch, and they let me go wide super fast. And then Divide by 0 is a card I am just not high on in the matchup. So we're going to configure our deck to look more like this, kind of flatten out our curve a little bit, and make sure we're interacting in every possible turn, and I'm pretty comfortable with that. Adrian, can we look at the alchemy stuff, etc. down the line? Half the fun lies in hot takes and sharing your perspectives. Yeah, I'm definitely down to be hyperbolic about alchemy. I am super down to be hyperbolic and like give you the most extreme version of my reaction. But the spoiler is, I think it's both bad and very good, depending on who you are observing the issue and depending on what your wants and needs are out of the game. Because from a digital perspective, phenomenal idea. I'm a paper player too, so I've got some less than awesome vibes on it too. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this island over here because we'd like to pitch it to a Thirst for Discovery at some point. We don't actually need to lead on Pathway because we're not doing anything on their turn anyway. We likely want to convert a card now, so we'll play basic island and consider. We see another consider, and I'm pretty down to bin the other consider. And we see a Fading Hope. So we like the start to our game here. They're going to go Sun Gold, get the consider out, which I'm A-okay with. So here, yeah, we're going to continue to hold this basic island. We'll play these lands in this order. We're going to go ahead and play a Swamp. And then I'm pretty keen on just, like, casting Ray right now. I can't think of many reasons where I want to sandbag it. What could they do here? Adeline? Elite Spellbinder. A little bit rough, but I think we should be able to, work with it. They can't put us off of Thirst, so we should be able to get a huge burst of card advantage here. If we can get a Field of Ruin and another removal spell, we should be in the money. Meathook Massacre is a phenomenal start. So what we'll do is we'll play Pathway. We know we're going to need the second black, so we'll set that up now. They've got a Paladin class, so we're going to go ahead and fire this off. Pitch the island. They actually know about it, so... And then we have this Malevolent Hermit for later. Hopefully they extend a little bit. They can't activate Faceless Haven yet because Cave of the Frost Dragon sure isn't a snowland, even though it looks like it should be. And then we have an Adeline, which is going to be a pain in our side. We definitely need to do something about the Adeline as soon as possible. I also like holding the Clearwater Pathway, or not holding the island, because we do have a second Thirst for Discovery. So we're at an interesting point in the game here. We've got a couple things we could do. They could also always just pump this Paladin class, and that's going to be pretty miserable for us. So getting this Adeline out of play to make room for our Meathook Massacre to actually do some work is going to be something we're interested in. I think we'll start with a Consider, just to see if we can draw like a hard removal spell or something. Sedgemoor Witch ain't it, but I also don't hate Sedgemoor Witch. So I'm not going to put that in the bin. I'm going to draw the Sedgemoor Witch. I'll play the Pathway, and I'll play it on blue because we already have black. And then I like casting Fading Hope on the Adeline right now. Just kind of force them to replay it. They won't man up their Faceless Haven, probably. I think I like that. I just really want to... What we're looking for now is a Shadow's Verdict. Shipwreck Marsh ain't quite it, so we'll bottom that and we'll pass. I mean, he's a modern player. Wait, basically what's happening. Shroom teaches Commander player how to play Standard. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I know a lot of people are here from Commander, so there's a little bit of a culture adjustment, probably. Paladin class, they're going to wrap it up. They're going to hit us for 6, so we're at a 10. Which is a little bit miserable, but they've opted to not re-extend into the board, which I don't necessarily hate. We want to hook before we witch. That's for sure. And they can't cast the Guardian, which is the card that phases their shit out. So I'm pretty keen, actually, on going Disruption and Meathook on 2 into next turn Sedgemoor Witch plus Spell to defend ourselves a little bit and just continue going through the game. We'll go up to 12 here past the turn and just continue to try to grind them out of card advantage until they're basically hopeless and they have to watch us kill them with 1/1s is the goal. Full disclosure, never played anything other than EDH, but Standard definitely looks interesting. Yeah, it's very fun. If you're a Commander player, it's totally understandable if this content isn't for you. If you're just here vibing within the background, that's cool. But I think there is something in Standard for people who want to just maybe like play a different kind of Magic. It could be cool, I don't know. So we have the Paladin class pumping Adeline, making this Ray of Enfeeblement much worse. But we have some lines. We're definitely going to play this, and I think we're going to go Sedgemoor Witch, hold up Ray of Enfeeblement. Because if they attack, we can Ray the Adeline, get a 1/1 block with the 1/1, kill the Adeline, gain a life, have a Sedgemoor Witch. That all seems quite good. Now, that's the only thing we can do, because Ray's going to be a 2-drop, so we can't necessarily drop the Hermit here. So we kind of got to pass and see what happens. If they do something like Brutal Cathar or Sedgemoor Witch, I think we'll like let them pay the 3, and then we'll just like Ray of Enfeeblement the Adeline to make our token. That way they can't attack in with it freely. But it looks like they're going to go to combat, so they're going to attack with Adeline, which is cool. And now I'm going to Ray of Enfeeblement Adeline, triggering Sedgemoor Witch. So they're kind of playing into our line. They have the Guardian of Faith, which is quite good. They're probably going to exile just the Adeline, force me to block the 2/2. I'm comfortable going to 14. No, I'm going to go to 13. They're going to go to 19. That's how this is going to play out. And they have an Usher. So what we're doing here, now they're kind of putting all of their eggs on the table. So we could just look for Shadow's Verdict, but with what they've done here, they've kind of like super extended themselves. This thing's phased out. I really wish I could answer that right now. But if I play Lier, I'm going to have 2 mana up, and Ray of Enfeeblement won't kill it. But I can go Ray. I can go blue, 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 right? And I can go Lier. And I have 2 Rays. So I can go Ray of Enfeeblement. Their 2 biggest creatures is likely what I want to hit. So I'll hit Guardian of Faith, trigger Sedgemoor Witch, get a creature. And then the Meathook Massacre triggers, and I will go to 14. Then I'll Ray again. And the Usher of the Fallen can kind of go wide. I'm a little fearful that the Hopeful Initiate will start to grow with training and destroy my Meathook Massacre as a thing, but I don't think I can afford to let them just like make a 2/2 every turn. So we'll take that out, go to 15, make another dude. They can actually block this Witch, and I have no interest in blocking with the Witch, so I'm going to get in for 3. Because it has Menace and pass. Ray will kill other things and make some blockers at least. Yeah, like the Adeline, now it's kind of like they need to get into a grindy position, and if they can't deal with either of my creatures, every turn I'm just going to keep out grinding them. It's going to be really rough. I wouldn't be surprised if they like leveled up the Paladin class or like activated Faceless Haven here, just to try to like grind without using extra resources. Or they could probably do Cave of the Frost Dragon if they wanted to, because it has flying, but they opt not to do that. They'll probably come in with everything, yep, get their training trigger, get Adeline, make a 2/2 tap with the that's attacking. And I'm kind of pigeonholed into blocking a 2/2 and blocking their 2 biggest things to maintain my life total the best I can. So that's what we'll do. I'll wind up going to, I think, 13. And they'll go down to 14, yeah, that's what happens. And they'll play Thalia. That's a very good play from their end, them having Thalia there. What would I like to do here? Probably just put more bodies in play. Let me make sure I can't just straight up, like, race them. Because I have meat, and that's very relevant. I also have Fading Hope, but it's going to cost 3 to do on their turn. I don't love that. Okay, we're going to start with a Consider. We're going to get as many Sedgemoor Witch triggers as we can. We could take the extra land. What does that let us do? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would give us 6. We could play like Hermit, Consider, Fading Hope. Just play as many spells as possible and just ship the turn back. I think we will. I think we're going to take like an absurdly safe route. And then we will cast another Consider. We got to do it all on our turn, because they've got that Paladin class. Okay, that's a Bloodchief's Thirst. I can cast this twice. Okay, we'll do that. We're going to cast Thirst, and we're going to pop Thalia. Make another dude. And now this only costs 1, so we can cast it from the bin. This time we'll pop Hopeful Initiate. Now I'm very comfortable just like bouncing their token. Yeah, they're dead. Okay, so we got game 1. That was a little unfortunate for our opponent. We kind of just popped off at the end there. Let me see here. Weirdest thing to learn is that life matters. Yeah, like you can't just be willy-nilly paying life for no reason. Like in Commander, it's like, yeah, fetch, shock, hit myself for 40 for some reason. Like you can just pay a billion life. But in this format, life, very much like Cataclysm said, life is very much a resource, absolutely. But it's also like, it's a much more finite resource in the world of constructed Magic, like Modern, Standard, your Pioneers, your Legacies. It's a much more finite resource, so you have to be very careful about when to leverage your life total. But that's 1-0. Just so you know, we will have on tap GG up. I'd say fairly soon. This is the newer editing computer. I got it a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago at this point, and it's all set up, but I still haven't gotten OnTap GG on it, which is gonna let you guys like see the overlay and see the cards if you want to, and it'll all be good. That'll be here for the next stream. I just didn't have time to set it up today. If you're wondering why I can stream today, it's because the video for this week got kind of botched. Calvin didn't mean to, no one meant to. There were just some like technical errors, and Calvin doesn't always know what to look for, and I didn't happen to be there. I was out at a 1K. So I dropped the ball. Calvin did a really good job recording it. There were just some minor technical stuff that we kind of can't fix in post, so we're going to record a new video. So bear that in mind. Anyway, 1-0 in game 1. We're going to play new Lier in game 2. Nothing tops the moment when the turn 2 Night's Whisper kills you 3 turns later. Yep. Absolutely. Oy vey. Okay. Go away. No, go away. I don't want you. I want you to want me. Okay. Oh, we get the power of choice. Lucky. We'll take the play. We have 1 mana source land, a Field of Ruin. Then we do have Consider and Duress, so we're pretty, and Bloodchief's Thirst. Mana's our problem, but having a diversity of different types of answers to different problems is not. We die by not hitting our 3rd land drop, but we have a Thirst for Discovery, so if we can hit our exactly our 3rd land drop, we will be in okay position. We got multiple lines. We're obviously playing our Shipwreck Marsh tapped, but if it's like Izzet, we can Duress. If it's mono white, we can Bloodchief's Thirst. If it's some grindy matchup, we can plan to Consider to hit our 3rd land drop. There's like, it's close. I think this is a keep though. Stay away from Return to Ravnica nightmares. Yeah. All right. Like I said, keep to the plan. Play a Shipwreck Marsh. Looks like we're seeing mono white, which makes sense. Here, we could just play the Field of Ruin, but I think if they had Paladin class, they would have played it, so there's no reason to Duress them. But in the event that there's a Shipwreck Marsh or something on top, I'm actually going to lead on Consider. We will decline to put that in the bin. I will happily play in blue. I will happily play a Field of Ruin. Because so if I draw a Shipwreck Marsh, I have a guaranteed discard to the Thirst for Discovery, and if I don't draw a land, it's the same sequence either way. Come back, Mill. I want you back. Oh, God. Did you like Nephalia Drownyard? That was one of my favorite cards in Standard back then, was Nephalia Drownyard. You could play Nephalia Drownyard, mill your opponents out while protecting yourself with Thragtusk and Restoration Angel. Let's see here. Catilda, Pro Werewolves. I don't care about any of that. Looks like we're playing a rogue deck. I don't particularly care. I think I want to kill this. I think I'm going to kill this for what that's worth. It's a little awkward. I kind of wanted to hold up my mana. If they had just played like a Sungold Sentinel or something, I could let that stay in play for a turn. But that thing's awkward enough where I can't really let it hang out too long. So now we got a Stormseeker, and we don't find our land. How would we like to do? And we're playing Naya, it looks like. I put them on mono white, but it turns out that they're playing Naya. I think that I'd like to Thirst for Discovery. I think that's what we're going to do here. I don't want to miss more land drops. So we'll draw 3. We don't have a basic, but that's okay, because we can pitch. I can't imagine this Duress is going to be very good. And do we have another? We have another Thirst for Discovery. I don't see us having a lot of time to cast it. So we'll drop both of those. And then I'll play a Hive tapped and pass. Okay, they're going super wide. This could be an absolute nightmare for us if we don't draw like an on-tap land. We draw an on-tap land, so we have some things we can do. We've got black, 1 black, 2 black, 2 blue. In our hand, we've got... there might be a point where we want to like be able to play Lier and hold up Fading Hope, but we got a Jwari Disruption. We just need the on-tap land for this turn. I'm going to go with a black source. Then I'm just going to straight away Infernal Grasp one of these. Maybe there's no point. No, there is. I don't want them to flip. Yeah, I'm going to Infernal Grasp one of them. Hopefully they don't have like Snakeskin. That would be miserable. It'd be a good learning note, though. I have no clue what we're playing against here. They have Snakeskin. So there's a couple things we could do here. I don't see a lot of opportunity to convert my Jwari Disruption. So I'm going to counter it with Jwari Disruption. We'll go to 9, then 6. Unless, of course, they, like, play some gigantic creature, then we're in actual trouble. That's interesting. I've never heard that. What is this? Every mill meta strangely comes with a noisy late game strategy. I hate it. That's weird. Third. Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna... Do we lose to this? I mean, close enough. Yeah, I don't see how we come back from this. We play Lier, and then we can, like, Bloodchief's Thirst this, but then, like, we block one and take lethal. And then we have Bloodchief's Thirst plus divide by 0. If we divide by 0, we can hit nothing. Nothing. We are just dead. That is awkward. They're just playing, like, it looks like Naya midrange. And stumbling on land. Their hand was very fast. 3 Reckless Stormseekers. Awkward. But I'm certain that Shadow's Verdict should be pretty good in this matchup. Not super high on Ray of Enfeeblement. We're on the play, and this is a matchup where go blanking them might just take the wind out of their sails completely. So that's a thing that could wind up happening. I like Fading Hope in these mid-range matchups. I don't know enough about what their spells are to play Duress. It's Naya, so I have no clue. I want to bring in some number of go blank, I think. Divide by 0 could be slightly clunky. Although there's a chance it's just like keep divide by 0, play like Ray of Enfeeblement or something for Catilda. But I think I'm going to try 2 go blanks. We're going to try that. Do you think people would play Mana Crypt if it dealt 5 damage and was legal in Standard? Yeah, absolutely. People would absolutely do that. Turn 2, turn 3 Goldspan Dragons. Make that math in your favor pretty quickly. Cheating that much on mana in a standard environment is just a recipe for disaster. We've got both the Warlocks and removal. We're going to keep this hand. We'll sequence our land in the way where only our first land comes into play tapped. And then, oh, we got to consider, which is pretty good. We'll go ahead and play this on black, I guess. Plan to maybe consider. What could they do it to? Maybe they're like a Prosperous Innkeeper deck? Nope, Intrepid Adversary. So they're just doing like Naya mid-range, like, beatdown. That's their strategy. I could save the Consider to try to make it better with the Witch. Or I could just next turn straight up take my opportunity to play Meat Hook ahead of Sedgemoor Witch. Then on turn 4, play Sedgemoor plus spell. Meaning I can probably hold the Consider. No, if I Sedgemoor plus spell, it's probably supposed to be Sedgemoor plus Bloodchief Thirst. So perhaps I want to consider to ensure that I hit my 4th land drop. Although I might bin a land. No, I think if there's a land on top, I'll keep it. Go blank, it's not time for that card. Alright, I'm glad I did that. I didn't want to draw onto Lier in that bad order. I am going to Meat Hook here on 1. Get it into play, because if we stumble on land, then Meat Hook's not going to do a lot. But I want to gain some of the life back every time I remove a thing. So now we got Witch, Warlock, Bloodchief's Thirst, which is kind of awkward. So we've got a Spellbinder. They're going to be really upset when they realize how redundant my hand is. But they're going to be really happy when they realize I don't have a 3rd land drop. Or a 4th land drop. So they're going to take my removal spell because they're smart. We do have the Fading Hope. Let's play a Sedgemoor Witch. See what they want to do here. Reckless Stormseeker beats a Chariot. I take that over a Chariot every day. They're going to attack with both. I'm going to block this Reckless Stormseeker, actually. They could cast Snakeskin Veil, and I think I'm fairly comfortable with that, if that's how they want to use their Snakeskin Veil. So that is fine. They will go to 19, and I still do not draw the land, which is super duper awkward. But if we can work our way to Shadow's Verdict, we might be fine. We might just lose this game to just never drawing our 4th land. Our hand's very well set up for like curving out, and we are not doing that here. Here we're gonna take the damage. There's a Catilda. Yeah, they probably don't want to swing with the Catilda. We're just going to take the damage here. There's our 4th land. So I think they could have Snakeskin Veil here, but I need to start just using my spells. So we'll start to make some creature tokens, try to block the best we can, gain some life back. We've got a Fading Hope. We're not blocking with this Witch. I don't think. There's maybe a chance we were supposed to like block on Reckless Stormseeker, but I don't know if I love that. Perhaps they suit up a manland here. They've got Cave, so I wouldn't hate just like turning their Cave into like a tempo play. Alright, we got Cave of the Frost Dragon getting manned up. That's fine. That's also totally fine. I think I'm going to Fading Hope your Cave of the Frost Dragon. Make myself another 1/1. Bounce that. See that this is a power word kill and not a land. I'm going to put it on the bottom. They also don't have a man land in play, which is super helpful. This doesn't have trample, which is great. Electing to not swing with it, a little bit weird. So now I think what we're going to do is just attack them with everything. And cast Shadow's Verdict. And then hopefully draw a land and so we can play Lier. Because they're going to know that's coming. But we'll see what happens. Goldspan probably just ends the game for us. Wouldn't shock me at all if they played it. They're going to opt to do nothing, it looks like. We've got a Thirst for Discovery. I think I'm going to play the first Lier and see if they have it. I've got a backup Lier. Cleanse them or join them, no other way. A life gain plus mill deck sounds funny. That sounds rude. Them some bad manners. I think they thought their Moonrange Brute was going to exile my Lier, but it's nighttime, so it sure doesn't. And then they did that, and it is... Like, there's a couple options I have here. My favorite one personally is, yeah, Big Oops. I'm going to Fading Hope your Brutal Cathar. Another Lier is not what we're looking for. And did they do that before we drew? Resolves. Now we have another Thirst for Discovery. We've got Consider Go Blank. We're going to Go Blank our opponent. We know what their hand is. Now we can't block Cave of the Frost Dragon, so we're likely going to 5. I'd like to make my land drop, so I think I'm going to go ahead and Consider now. I am going to put that in the bin. We did not find our land drop, but we're pretty set up to handle most stuff. Alright, so we're tie for life totals, but boy oh boy am I ahead. Sure. Alright, so we find our land drop. We'll play it on, let's say, black. We definitely need to deal with the Reckless Stormseeker. That's just not an option for us. We don't have the option to not do that. I don't think. So we'll go ahead and make it happen. Go to 6. And then we'll get busy with Lier. And pass the turn. Close game. Our opponent definitely has a lot of live, powerful top decks. Sigarda is something I may have not cast. I would have just started getting busy with this and hoped I didn't have instant speed removal. But they've elected to not do that, meaning that I get to put them on a 2-turn clock. Super easy. Yeah, now I don't know if they can win. Now they have to like hold it back as a blocker, and that seems miserable. What is it, a 3-5? 3-4 with flying? I mean, now I can just cast Thirst. None of that's the removal spell, but discarding 2 cards should be pretty easy. How about Go Blank? And I think I'll play Jwari Disruption as a land. So we'll say Go Blank, and I think I like the second Lier, so Thirst for Discovery. We'll play Jwari Disruption as a tap land and a Sedgemoor Witch. And I don't know if there's a way for them to get out of this. I think they are just dead. We're going to go to game 3, I'm pretty sure. I think that cost them the game. Yeah, Void. I think they misplayed there. Legacy, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcome everybody who's just coming into the stream. So seeing more of that deck has led me to just be certain I'm certain that they're just like a zoo deck. They're Naya Zoo. Ray of Enfeeblement, what does that hit? We can hit Intrepid Adversary. We can hit Brutal Cathar, Elite Spellbinder. Sigarda. Catilda. That's 5 creatures. I put them on having between 2 and 4 of each. So, Ray of Enfeeblement's just better than Goblink. I thought they were going to be a bit more of a grindier deck, but no. I don't think they are. I think that Ray of Enfeeblement's just going to be phenomenal against them. And I think on the draw, I'm still comfortable being down at 3, divide by zeros. So we're gonna submit this deck list and see how it goes. I'm good. Ordering some proxies from NPC. What's really annoying is the NPC autofill site got taken down. Have we heard anything about that? Is that something that they're able to get fixed? Or is the legal problem too deep? I think that Sorin is slow for this matchup. Problem is that the lifelink tokens keep you alive. I agree, Void. It does seem slow. My only argument is that would it be replacing it from our sideboard? Malevolent Hermit could work, but their creatures outsize Malevolent Hermit so quickly that it doesn't necessarily trade for anything. I could be just wrong. Maybe there's a reason to play it. We've got a 2-lander. We can get choked up on mana, but we have Fading Hope to try to tempo play them to hopefully cast a Shadow's Verdict. It looks like their curve's fairly low, so Shadow's Verdict can collect a lot of the nonsense. We're going to keep this and hope we don't get choked up like we did last game on mana. Tap land turn 1 is what we wanted to see. A second Thirst for Discovery wasn't exactly what we wanted to draw, though. Thalia is going to be fine. I'm going to consider first. I will bin Shadow's Verdict. On other lands, exactly what we wanted to see here. And then we'll play, I think, Swamp. We're likely thinking of Fading Hoping the Thalia. Yeah, that's a Catilda. So if they're going to Catilda, I'm fairly comfortable Fading Hope on Thalia in order to sneak this Thirst for Discovery in. Sedgemoor Witch seems good, but I don't think it's time for Sedgemoor Witch yet. There's a lot of things we're looking for and looking to do before it comes time to cast a Sedgemoor Witch. Shipwreck Marsh, best case scenario. We play that right now. We can say, I think we'll just sandbag the Thirst for Discovery. There's really nothing they can do to stop us. When they go to cast Thalia, we'll just Thirst and hopefully we draw another land so we can pitch the island and have like an overwhelming amount of card advantage. So we'll Thirst now. Exactly that happens, so we'll go ahead and pitch an island. Now we have Bloodchief's Thirst and Infernal Grasp to deal with the idiots. If they extend too much, this Shadow's Verdict just becomes the actual best possible. You can have the Old Loader. If you have the Old Loader, you can use that. Legal shit, I don't know. We hope for the best. Only ordered cards that got the text not for sale, and so on them. That's smart. I think that's respectable. It's kind of weird because it's like everyone knows what's going on. Like, of course they're not for sale. We know that this isn't a mystery. I think we're gonna go Jwari Disruption tapped, and then I'm very comfortable just Bloodchief's Thirsting the Thalia with the intention to Shadow's Verdict to clean up the rest of the idiots. So let's do that. And then I can hold up Consider. I'll probably Consider, depending. There's like a chance I hold it up for Sedgemoor Witch. Helena and Elena. Well, there's our Shadows, our Infernal Grasp target. Becoming your turn, put X where X is their power and the creature gains haste. Yeah, I think I'm comfortable with that. It could be a little awkward. It's definitely the most awkward card we're going to have to deal with. So they're going to get in for 4, and that's fine. And now I think I am going to Consider here. That one's not bad. No, I think we really want to go Sedgemoor Witch plus Infernal Grasp, Helena, and Elena to force an extension. No, maybe not. Maybe we really want to Ray of Enfeeblement the Catilda to choke their mana out. I think that's what we're going to do. You could be watching Mr. Shroomy Boy make a big play error here, but I want to try this. So we are definitely going to go Sedgemoor Witch, and we are going to hope that they don't have the thing. They don't. So now we can choke them up on mana, have Grasp and some blockers. That all seems quite good. You need to kill that one. Shit gets strong fast. Yeah, absolutely. But if they keep playing 2-drops, Infernal Grasp plus Shadow's Verdict ought to handle the issue at hand. Alright, so we're definitely going to block like this, and we plan on Shadow's Verdicting anyway, so we're just going to block everything. Go to 17. Now we have to what? Hope that they didn't find their Snakeskin Veil? I think so. If they found Snakeskin Veil, we're just in trouble. We have to Infernal Grasp. Alright, they found Snakeskin Veil, so let's see if we can't fight it. Put that in the bin. It looks like we might just die here. Yeah, that was... Maybe I should have sequenced it to kill that first, because that's lethal, right? That's so good. I think we just dropped the game to Helena for no reason. Well... I mean, not that it would have been great after the fact. But yeah, okay, we just took a loss to this, and I'm interested to see... here, let's give them... That was... I don't know if this is a rogue deck, but that was very well played by our opponent. And maybe not so well played by us. Yeah, the Elena, I skimmed the card as we were doing it. I was watching, like, Luminarch Aspirant become, like, a 7/7. I was like, Jesus. Thanks, boss, for the raid. Who's raiding? Are we getting raided? I was not emotionally prepared for a raid. Oh no, 163 viewers. I can't fucking deal with that. What's going on, everyone that just raided? Can someone let me know who raided the channel? For anyone just coming in, we're playing Blue-Black Lier. If you're familiar with Covert Go Blue, and if you're here, you are. He did a little YouTube video. You can check us out on YouTube at MTG The Stack for some Commander content as well if you're just coming in. And it was on like... the meme was like 8 Thirst, so it was 4 Thirst for Discovery and 4 Bloodchief's Thirst. And I'm trying that in best of 3. We're 1-1 right now. I probably played very poorly last game against the Naya mid-range deck, and Helena and Elena got us good. We got. Thinking of building an EDH deck with that card. Oh, Helena and Elena? I think so. Who did the raid? What did I miss here? Well, whoever did that. Oh, Meebo, thank you for the raid. Played the same deck today. Have a great stream. Thanks so much, Meebo. Hopefully your stream went well. I'm actually pretty impressed with this. I've been playing a lot of Blue-Black Lier myself. Like before Crimson Vow, and this version looks pretty good. This hand, however, is slightly suspicious. I've got Lier. I've got tools to deal with, like Izzet, mono green, mono white. 2 lands is a little bit sketch. But if you go Island, we'll have Consider. We don't have that cool thing that we have in some hands where it's like a 2-lander, but there's a Thirst for Discovery, so you can like find your 3rd land and then bridge the gap. So some stuff can go wrong, but I think we have enough tools where this is a keep, but probably kind of a close one. I could be talked out of keeping this, but going in blind, I think we have enough tools to deal with enough different types of matchups that we'll see. We'll lead on Island, plan to Consider. What's the best case scenario? Probably mono white. Just because, like, we can hose mono white pretty easy. Blood on the Snow is probably the worst case scenario, because if we stumble, they're going to start to outvalue us very quickly. On the bright side, having a Meat Hook Massacre, don't want the second one. Having a Meat Hook Massacre to fight their Meat Hook Massacre and not get just murdered is pretty good. So we didn't find the land. So we'll play this on black. I think we can Duress here. We're not super interested in getting Deadly Disputed right now. We're still going to need to draw the land naturally. There's the Deadly Dispute, Vanishing Verse. I think we're going to hit Dispute. We want to slow them down as much as possible, really. Legacy, or maybe it was yesterday. Didn't CGB play this deck on his YouTube channel? Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't know if it was today, maybe it was yesterday, but I just saw it and I was really impressed with the list. CGB quite a tight player as well. So we're going to definitely probably play Sedgemoor Witch. Like, they don't have the white mana right now that we can see. And a Blood on the... yeah, Meat Hook Massacre on 1. They'll double learn, but like, how bad is that? There's also an argument for just casting Meat on 1 right now. We could also just do that. Them double learning, they're definitely get Environmental Sciences plus like some other, maybe Summoning. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure what this deck's doing in his board right now. But maybe it's just Sedgemoor Witch. I could see it being Sedgemoor Witch. And then we'll Meat Hook next turn. We'll see if that works out. With our luck, they're just going to like play Snow-Covered Plains and deal with the Witch. But if that was the case, that was going to happen at whatever point in the game they decided to do it anyway. Legacy, I think it was today, because I think I watched it this morning, and I think he uploads pretty early. By the way, anyone just coming to the stream, hopefully, how you guys doing? It's Monday. So it is Monday, right? Holy shit. Yeah, it's Monday. It's a nice Monday. So they're going to Infernal Grasp. We didn't know they had that, I don't think. Hopefully I didn't drop the ball on that. And then we draw the land. So that's phenomenal. They still don't have the white source. So maybe like we play Sorin here. And try to like bury them. Like they want to bury us with their Lulth. Let's do that. Let's do that. I'm very likely making like plays that get punished by the correct top deck. But the upside seems so high. The profit seems absurd. Well, there's that. At least we're gonna have this 2/3 that can block forever. No, we're not. They're gonna exile it and attack the Sorin for 2. Sheesh. On the bright side, it's looking more and more bright for the future of our Lier. What are the... No, we gotta play this Jwari Disruption. If we win, it's gonna be because Lier grinded them out. Can we continue to just not meat hook? I don't think so. Like, when we meat hook, they're gonna learn, but at some point we're gonna have to deal with these twitches anyway. There's really not a lot we can do about that. And we may as well tap out to do it. Just because it's a fun meme. He posted a Nihilist today. Do you know if it looked anything like the deck we just played against? I really like that list. Like, I'm not a big creatures attack every turn type guy, but the list for people who are looked pretty clean. It is a Monday indeed, yep. I Twitch dies, learn. Environmental sciences plus what? Confront the past? Nope, necrotic fumes. And that tracks. That tracks. They want to deal with our Lier. There's their Edgar Charm Groom. And this is how we get stomped. I guess we could Lier and deal with necrotic fumes. And put them on having to have it again. And then potentially on tap with Lier. And things might be kind of okay. Let's try it. Things, in fact, might be okay. Edgar, they're going to start doing the Edgar dance, though, it looks like. Let's hit their necrotic fumes. I just want my Lier to try to live for one turn. Yeah, it looks like it's an Halden Alena list. Okay, cool. Maybe we'll look into that. So we're going to get donked for 4. I do think we could have played better that game. I think that if I was a tighter player or someone with more experience, especially against that matchup, we could have strung it together. We just unfortunately did not in that case. Did they draw the removal? They did not. So we're a little low on card advantage, but we at least have this consider. We're kind of looking for Thirst for Discovery. We really need to bridge a gap here. If they have the kill spell, they just made a play error. Like, I can't stop them, but they should have killed my Lier when they could. Yep, that can go to the bin. No land. Oh, it's a Thirst for Discovery. What a nice day. Let's do that. We have the swamp to discard to it. Thank you, Legacy. You are the real dude. Okay, cool. Now we can pitch this swamp. Who needs it? Player land. We have another Thirst for Discovery on backup, so we can like attempt to grind out some value here. I'm not blocking with Lier. I can just be straight up about that. Yeah, I'm not going to block with Lier, so I can get in for 3. Because oftentimes, this matchup does come down to a race. If we get a Sedgemoor Witch and it gets really grindy, it can be like, okay, let's look at the Meat Hook Massacres. How many points of damage can both players put in? What are we doing? So we're going to get in for 3. And then we'll hold up. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to do the consider loop where we go consider from grave, kind of like a instant speed. Divination plus. I think Thirst for Discovery is still the play. We'll just get our hand as full as possible. Because they're definitely gonna, if they don't have it, like maybe they don't Blood on the Snow. I don't know. But because I have the Meat Hook Massacre, if they can't like extend more into the board, they are in a losing position. But now they're going to do that. What is the last card in their hand? What's in their bin here? They don't really want anything back off Blood on the Snow. They only have 4 snow lands, so like, I guess they couldn't get a, what's her name? A Lulth back. Let's go ahead and Thirst. There's a chance that I go Thirst and they just deal with my Lier. But like, I'm not winning this game by being too careful, I don't think. Let's see what they can do. Let's see if they have the instant speed removal as their only unknown. Okay, we found a witch. I think it's Thirst. And now we have Sedgemoor Witch plus Consider. They could activate that Haven. A little bit irritating. Let's go ahead and play Sedgemoor Witch. And then, honestly, we're likely supposed to pass the turn after that. Perhaps we Consider first, just to see if we find, like, Infernal Grasp or something, and we can get really froggy with combat. Or like a Fading Hope. They concede. I don't think they should have conceded there. Like, I was probably going to pull back into the game over the course of a couple turns, but I think with that Edgar in play and that Blood in the Snow in hand, they had a lot more game to play. I'm not sure why they conceded there. Shadow's Verdict is pretty good. Go Blank is pretty good. Malevolent Hermit is probably more on the medium end, probably better on the play than the draw. I like Test of Talents against Deadly Dispute, Blood on the Snow, so let's start there. I like Duress well enough in this matchup. Sorin the Mirthless is probably a medium card in the matchup. Just because they are a deck with like a billion Vanishing Verses. So we know we don't want Ray. I'm going to cut a Miser's Consider just because our list is going to have more cards that we want per capita. And then Divide by Zero is also likely an awkward selection because of the efficiency and the stickiness of their cards. And the fact that, like, with Deadly Dispute, dividing by 0 with things in play is going to be dangerous as hell anyway. So I'm chill trimming on 2 of those. I think that Go Blank is supposed to be good in this matchup. Fading Hope, I think we want 2 of. Meathook Massacre, we basically just want to not die to their Meathook Massacre, right? I think that's where we're at there. I like Lier. I like my witches. That's how we grind. I like Thirst for Discovery. And Go Blank. Do we want Shadow's Verdict becomes the question. I think the answer is yes. Like, it doesn't cleanly deal with Edgar, which is kind of awkward. Maybe they play Lisa. Maybe Shadow's Verdict actually isn't where we want to be. Maybe we're supposed to be, like, counting on our Meathook Massacres. We let them have their learns. We let them have their learn triggers. We let them have their Shambling Gas triggers. And we just play Go Blank. Yeah, more than anything, you want to keep them off Edgar because he will swarm you out. Yeah, very true. And Shadow's Verdict doesn't help us do that. Let's play Go Blank. Go Blank. To be honest, Ray of Enfeeblement does it too. But, like, Edgar's going to keep flipping and dipping. I think we'll try this configuration. Yeah, I think our opponent definitely conceded a little too early. Cope, 0. I'm missing a color. If I weren't missing a color, this would be a 2-land hand I'd be eager to keep. This swamp becomes an island, keep. It's a mulligan, though. Casting 1 Bloodchief's Thirst and an Eye Twitch, ain't it? That ain't gonna do it. This hand is Witch, Fading Hope. Don't Go Blank me, bro, the hand. Keep it. I'll ship a... Honestly, we lead on Shipwreck Marsh, Hall of Storm Giants into Shipwreck Marsh to ship Clearwater Pathway. I would like to put this on bottom, please. Thank you. Or is there a chance we want to... No, we never want a Fading Hope on 1. That'd be silly. Yeah, I'll just take the perfect mana. Maybe... No, because I could top deck Consider, and that makes that awkward as hell. If I ship Shipwreck Marsh... I can choose to have blue, black, in a third of either color. It's Shipwreck Marsh, actually. I almost just big brain myself. Legacy, you think it's Lier? That's fair. I could see, like, maybe we just want to, like, make sure we hit our land drops. I foresee needing to use this Fading Hope. But maybe you're right. The thing is about Fading Hope in this matchup is, like, if you Fading Hope your opponent's 1-drop, they can't turn to attack Deadly Dispute, which is how they're going to buy a lot of their tempo. But maybe you're right. You could be right about that. We'll see how it plays out. But even if I win or lose, there's still just a chance that you're just correct. It's supposed to be Lier, Disciple of the Drowned. Legacy, are you in the same spot as I am with why you would do Lier instead of like a land? So here I am going to do exactly that. I'm going to go Hall of Storm Giants, Fading Hope. I do not want a 3rd Sedgemoor Witch. Mainly, I just don't want to allow them to do Deadly Dispute that quickly. I would have gone with Lier. Let's see what will happen. I can see that being exactly correct. With your play, that is. I'll play this on black and plan to start getting naughty with Sedgemoor Witch. There's a chance I could have Bloodchief's Thirst, but then they probably bring on Treasure Edgar. That can be awkward. A second Shambling Guest. Now, all of a sudden, I wish I had a Shadow's Verdict. I have to feed them a Sedgemoor Witch. That's just the way it is. Like, one of these things has to live for me to win this matchup, so I have to start feeding them things. Alright, so they're going to Deadly Dispute. They likely had that in their hand, so if I hadn't bounced that, we could be looking at, like... We could be looking at bad stuff. We could be looking at last turn will look like this turn would have, likely. Alright, they're going to pay 3 to kill the Sedgemoor Witch. Now, if I don't make my 4th land drop here, and there's a good chance I won't, like, like Lier was far and away, that's why we would do that. And whether I draw the land or not here, that's probably why it was correct to bin the Lier. Like, we got lucky and drew the land, but yeah. Yeah. That seems right. I'm gonna play this as a blue source. Yeah. That way, no matter what we draw into, we can, like, potentially do a Lier plus Fading Hope in the future. We'll play another Witch. I think we're supposed to use a Bloodchief's Thirst here. Maybe not. Maybe that's a silly thing. That is a silly thing. I don't think there's a reason to Bloodchief's Thirst here. Let's see what happens. Duress. Well, luckily there's a lot of redundance. That's what happens. So I'm gonna say Legacy. I'm gonna say you were right to want to pitch Lier. I think we're gonna just keep playing this game just because, like, there's a chance their hand's kind of like medium and we can just draw and do a couple Thirst for Discoveries. And they're at 15, so I'm just gonna start beating down with this Sedgemoor Witch, and we'll stop playing when this stops working. So let's see here. What could they do? We could go Lolth Spider Queen is quite the start. Make a couple of Spideys. Get in for 1 because it's free. Now, if that was a Meat Hook Massacre, I'd be pretty happy. We're going to keep playing just because, like, if I find Meat Hook Massacre and can Meat Hook Massacre on 1, we might have a little something going on. But yeah, this is rough. If they Deadly Dispute, the game is almost certainly completely over. Well, it's bad. It's so bad. Guys, it's so bad right now. This is not good. Draw a card, lose a life. They got 5 in hand. Yeah, even a Meat Hook isn't going to quite do it, so we'll go to game 3. Yeah, I was a little too eager to have my Lier there. I'm pretty content with the way our deck is configured. I could potentially see Hermit being better than I think it is. Yeah, let's try that. Maybe I was pretty quick to undersell Hermit. I'm going to try Hermits out, see how that works. Yeah, Void, that was very bad. We didn't like that. That was not fun. I don't know if you guys had fun there, but that was not fun for me. I had a very bad time. Land, all blue, Malevolent Hermit. This is another one of those awkward ones. Our Field of Ruins likely alive so we can get Sedgemoor Witch going. Test of Talents hitting their Deadly Dispute is going to change the texture of the way the game plays out. And that's likely a big part of what their first 2-3 turns wants to do. So I think we'll keep this. I really don't like going down to 6 on the play against a deck that brought in Go Blanks against us. So yeah, Void's the same. Legacy says that you will say keep. I'm glad that other people have backed up my thinking, because I'm never super confident. I do my best to explain what's in my head, but, like, this is my head we're talking about. I don't actually have any clue what's going on. We're going to keep the island just in case we draw a swamp. That way, if we find a Thirst in the next 2 turns, we can do the thing. I don't mind showing them I have a field, because there's a chance I just need to hit the sinkhole just to hit black. Yeah, they'll probably take Test of Talents because they know Deadly Dispute is something that they need to resolve. Consider, don't hate it. We'll drop Consider, we'll get busy, or we'll drop land, get busy. Plan to field, we need to get our black source going, like really, really bad. And they know that. Like, they know that I'm off black, so they're probably thinking about, like, sandbagging a Faceless Haven or something right now, if they can get away with it. Professor Symbology is annoying, but unfortunately something that's just going to happen. So we'll let that thing happen. They're going to get Necrotic Fumes. Boo. Mean. Rude. Sad. We need our black source. It's not even an option. I'd prefer not to put them up on 2 mana, so I will just get their Grime Climb Pathway. This will give them an opening to, like, float the mana and maybe Infernal Grasp or Vanishing Verse by Malevolent Hermit. But if we just, like, on tap and, like, have 3 black spells in hand and no black mana, it would be bad. Man, when I'm in the worst matchup for my deck, I would question my actions, haha. Yeah, this is... I don't love the Blood on the Snow matchup for these Lier decks. I don't know how it works out now that we've got Crimson Vow. But, like, pre-Crimson Vow, like, even in the Degenerate Gaming event... that we were able to, you know, we were able to get top 4, but you know, Blood on the Snow knocked us out, and that's what we were afraid of the entire time. Thirst for Discovery, not bad, not bad. We have to fear not a Blood on the Snow. We have to fear a Meat Hook Massacre, because we could extend with our Sedgemoor Witch and just kind of hope. That is a thing we could do. I'm pretty high on getting rid of this Professor of Symbology, if for no other reason than to not let them Deadly Dispute. So there's a couple lines. We could just lead on Sedgemoor Witch and potentially get blown out by their Meat Hook Massacre, or we could Thirst for Discovery, try to find a black source, and Bloodchief's Thirst, the Professor of Symbology, get in for 2, or we could, like, pass the turn, hold, or we could just, like, Bloodchief's Thirst, hold up, Consider. I think I like the highest EV play, which is maybe we find a black source. So we found the black source and our own Meat Hook Massacre, and I'm fine pitching like this. We play our black source. We Thirst Professor Symbology. I just want them to wait as long as I can get them to wait to have to Deadly Dispute. Because Deadly Dispute is a card that can just kill us on its own. The amount of value that it grinds out is absurd. Here comes a second Professor of Symbology. Environmental. Land Environmental after that. That makes sense. They probably, yeah, they got to get our Meat Hook Massacre. That's just miserable for them. So here, now we can go Hive of the Eye Tyrant. We can play Sedgemoor Witch and plan to counter their... We can make it real difficult for them to deal with our Hermit, our Sedgemoor Witch. So we probably just pass. Yeah, I don't like the texture of how this matchup goes at all, personally. I could be just wrong. Maybe there's something I don't know, but it feels rough. Alright, we'll go ahead and Consider. Get going wide. I think I'm not going to put that in our bin. I think triggering the Witch as much as possible is fine. Another Hermit's not bad. I'm just going to Consider again. I'm going to decline that as well. I think we're absolutely fine with the Divide by 0. Then we could, like, divide the Edgar. I think we're supposed to pass. I think that's what we're supposed to do. What's our other line? We divide the Edgar, we get in with everything. They block Malevolent Hermit and take 5, go to 11. We get blown out by Blood on the Snow. Yeah, I don't like that. And we'll just pass the turn. Pass, save it. Thank you, Legacy. Thank you. By the way, if I know some streamers don't like this, but if you want to put your 2 cents in on how you would play, please do. Low-key, I'm just streaming so I can leech off better players and get better while people are watching. Pass, DBZ the Edgar on their turn. That's what I'm thinking, Cataclysm. I don't think we're going to interact with an Environmental Sciences. They're going to find their land drops anyway. This matchup's grindy enough. I think I do want to DBZ their Edgar, if for no other reason, just to go get my copy of Teachings of the Archaics. Legacy, what do you think? My thinking here is that I'm supposed to divide by 0, holding up a blue so they can't, like, remove my Sedgemoor Witch. Or I guess I can't hold up blue, so that's awkward. But even so, I think I'm supposed to DBZ the Edgar and go get my, you need the card drawn? Yeah, wait until attack. Okay, they're going to end step, so I do it here. I'm going to do it here. I'm going to divide this Edgar. I'm going to try to learn and go get... Now, they could Deadly Dispute, and that's a little bit awkward. But that just is what it is. It does also let me attack. So they're going to Infernal Grasp. They do have to pay the life. And the life total matters for both players in this matchup quite a lot. So they're going to go to 13. And then they can Deadly Dispute if they want to. Yeah, now they're going to Deadly Dispute. Their Edgar becomes the thingy. What I would have gotten there, obviously, is the Teachings of the Archaics. But now I wonder if I'm just supposed to get, like, super aggressive. Kinda seems like yes. I think I'll attack with everything but the Hermit. And then we'll get rid of they're probably a Blood on the Snow deck, so the best thing to get is probably Professor of Symbology. They probably block a 1/1, take 5, go to 8. Now they get a 1/1. It's... The more the Smooth Brain Hive Mind works together, the more the Smooth Brain Hive Mind works together by the outcome, I suppose. That's fair. Do we want to counter unless they pay 3? Probably not. We probably just want the bodies now. Save this, I think. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to let them neuter our graveyard. They do have a problem, though, and it's the dilemma of their life total. The Eye Twitch is going to help an annoying amount. Fading Hope. That's a sorcery, right? What if we... In a world where we Fading Hope this token, man up the Hive, and attack with everything, they block Malevolent Hermit, they go to 3. They just go to 3. And that puts them dead to Hive at pretty much every point. What do you think about that? I think, okay, so I think what I'm supposed to do is, like, Fading Hope this. Maybe I'm even supposed to Fading Hope here, just to not let them learn. Like, if I Fading Hope here and they can't learn, and I man up my Hive of the Eye Tyrant, swinging with everything, they're kind of pigeonholed into blocking my Malevolent Hermit, which sucks. Things can happen, bad things. Depends on the top card and this card right here that we don't know about, but I think that's the highest EV play. Let's go ahead and Fading Hope the Eye Twitch, specifically. Hopefully they don't have a Deadly Dispute. We don't want this swamp either, so that's good. And then we can man up our Hive of the Eye Tyrant. And I think we just get busy with everything, force the issue, make them block with the block the Hermit. And we'll take out their second Professor of Symbology. That's going to put them at lethal to the Hive. Now if they can't deal with a menace creature... Oh, wait, no, but they do gain the life. That was silly. I should have thought about that. I forgot about lifelink. Look at me not knowing about stuff. And now Menace and Reach is going to be a pain in the ass. There are ways we can get out of this, like drawing our meat. Well, they can't freely use Lulth to draw cards anymore, I don't think. What are you on the backside of 2/2? So you can block the lifelinkers pretty easily. Let's go Hermit, hold up, divide by 0. I think we don't attack and we pass. Yeah, that being a Lulth in their hand was that sucks for us. So they Necrotic Fumes, sacrificing a creature. We could even divide by 0 our own Hermit. I don't know if that does anything that we want it to, but we could do that. Could let them get froggy with how they attack. What do we go get when we divide by 0? Probably not Mascot Exhibition, right? Maybe we're supposed to like let this resolve, divide by 0 on their end step, go get teachings. This is hard. Yeah, we've got Teachings of the Archaics, Mascot Exhibition, and what's the other one? The Environmental Sciences. I'm pretty sure it's not environmental. I think we're supposed to... We can make them do this again and make them sack another creature, but I don't know how good that actually is. I think we need to let this resolve. Teaching sucks, but he's hellbent. Right, so if I wait to end step to divide, I can put a card back in their hand and then draw 2. It's not great, but it's a thing we get to do. So they're just going to attack like that. I am pretty keen on blocking Edgar, at least. Let's do that. Lolth is going to draw them a card, which is pretty miserable. And then we're going to divide by 0. We could hit the Lolth, but then they just make 2 more spiders. I think it's Ed. And we'll get Teachings of the Archaics. And then we can Teachings, but if that card in their hand is an instant, it's like a womp womp situation. So we're probably supposed to Bloodchief's Thirst first, which is awkward in its own special annoying little way. But I think we are supposed to Bloodchief's, and we're likely supposed to hit like something with lifelink because we need to manage their life total. So we'll do that. Good luck, Shroom. Gotta be off. Looking forward to the next stream. Have an awesome night, buddy. Yep, you get a loyalty. And now I'll Teachings. Okay, well that's not the worst. Like, I guess I'm gonna Duress just because there's not gonna be a better time to do it, I don't think. Alright, so they've just got Ed. We've got Thirst. This is not looking good for us, though. We really need, like, our Meathook Massacre to attempt to grind back into this game. We'll see what happens. They're going to play their Eddie. This one we'll just opt to not block. We'll take 18. Let them go to 7. They go to 6. If we can get a well-timed Meathook Massacre, we can maybe be able to close this game out with Deadly Dispute. Although the Deadly Dispute's bad news for us. Or with this Hive of the Eye Tyrant. The grab Confront the Past. Alright, well, we're not going to belabor anything. I'm doing this now. That's kind of awkward. We'll pitch Swamp. We'll play... Do we sand... No, we can't sandbag the land, I don't think. We'll play this on black and just end the turn. Looks like we're going to get grounded out of the game, though. Legacy, have you played this matchup much? What's your take on it? My take is that this is a harder matchup for the Lier deck. Alright, I'm pretty comfortable blocking 4 power here. Go to 17. Then, what do they do? Confront the... How does this card work? It can reanimate one? Yeah. Do they have anything that can hit? No, they do not. We have to get, like, insanely lucky with this Thirst for Discovery. They're just grinding cards. Alright, here we go. Thirst. That's not nothing. I mean, I'm playing Lier. They don't have any man lands, so let's use this for mana. What's in our bin right now? Duress, Teachings, Fading Hope. Alright, I guess it doesn't super matter one way or the other. Maybe we wanted like an additional blue there. That's a sorcery. Let's Duress our opponent. Okay, cool. They've got 3 lands in hand, so that's not nothing. They're going to be able to draw some cards, but that just is what it is. Let's let them take their turn. We've got Fading Hope, so we can try to not die. We can try to not lose our Lier, too. Yeah, you draw a card and lose a life. Yeah, that was lucky. Probably get him with Edgar. Can't get it with Eye Twitch, you need to block. You're a 2-2 with lifelink. I think I get to comfortably block you. What could I get hit by if I block this? I don't think anything. I'm going to block it. Honestly, at this point, the more they draw, the more you get off teachings. Right. Fading Hope Edgar. End of turn. Expose our Lier, you think? That could be fine. Fell Stinger. I think I have to let that happen. Yeah, I think maybe keeping Fading for the... now that they're drawing so many more cards, I think I have to keep my Fading for Lier. So they loot. Shambling Guest happens. Alright, so they could have it here, but I need to think about EV and how we grind out of this game. If I am able to position myself into having a Meat Hook Massacre, I can't kill Edgar and not kill Lier with it. I think I'm still supposed to protect my Lier, though. It's not as if Fading Hope's expensive. We're just going to go to our turn. Alright, we get a second Fading Hope. Let's go ahead and play this. We've got black, 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 blue, blue. Playing this on blue. And then we could just straight up lead on teachings. Can I kill our opponent here if they don't have removal? Because they're at 6. Can I kill 4 things and attack with Hive? No. Yes. Hive would cost 5 plus it. That would leave me with 4 mana. Which is good for Hope, 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 Bloodchief's Thirst. Okay, so here's something I can do here. I can, if I want to go all in, I can bounce, bounce, bounce using Fading Hope and flashing back both Fading Hopes. And then Bloodchief's Thirst, but I would hold the last Fading Hope to bounce the Manland. And I could just come in. But that puts me dead to everything if I do it that way. If you had another Lier or Fading, I would say bounce the Edgar. But yeah, Lier's what brought us back into the game for sure. Or maybe we just like go for max grind and draw as many cards as possible. That's also a thing we can try to do. We've got these Fading Hopes, so we can just do all that on their turn and protect all of our stuff and just choose not to do anything this turn. That's another avenue we have. What if we just don't do anything? We're at 13. It's impossible for them to kill us. We're just going to pass. Oh, Legacy says pass. Okay, cool. We've got 9 minutes left because this matchup is fucking grindy. But the best thing they could have done there is like try to remove Lier on end step so I don't have access to my graveyard, forcing me to just dump my hand. They're gonna Duress, and I'm gonna be quite frank. I think I just let them do it. Perhaps like I just use the Fading Hope because they're gonna make me. Do I Fading Hope Edgar? Or do I Fading Hope something that's going to let me scry? I want to say I Fading Hope something that's going to allow me to scry. I'm going to do that. Void says Fading Hope Edgar. I could see that. I've got another Fading Hope. Could DBZ as well. We don't want Shipwreck Marsh. Good evening, Jester. What's going on, buddy? Welcome to the stream. And then we allow that to resolve. We have no cards in hand, but we should be able to respond to almost everything that they do. Would we like to destroy Faceless Haven here? I want to say yes. Yeah, let's... Does that choke us up on mana too much? Brings us down to 3. No, I don't think so. I think I'm comfortable trying to destroy their Faceless Haven. No, it should choke your mana. You think so? That's a fair point. I was thinking now I still have Fading Hope plus Divide by 0, but maybe that was greedy. Because if this resolves, I go up to 6 mana, meaning like Divide plus Thirst is still up. Alright, we're going to get blue, it looks like. Yep, Legacy already called it. Get blue. That resolves. Their hand has to be pretty live to just like blow me out here. Like one thing that would do it is Go Blink. That's quite good. So I've got 2 Fading Hopes, so perhaps I can just bounce the Edgar. I think I like bouncing the Edgar. 4, 5, 6, 7 brings me to 6. That's pretty uncomfortable. They just replay the Edgar, but maybe that's fine. Bounce the Edgar, take 3, go to 10. They replay Edgar and do anything else. So basically, do I want to buy 4 life points right now? Or do I want them to not have Edgar in play when they pass? I think I'm going to... Yeah, Cataclysm says bounce. I think I'm going to bounce Old Eddie. I just don't know that I want to take an extra 4 right now. We're getting to the grindy point of the game. I think I need to try to make some stuff happen. We'll take 3. We'll drop down to 10. You need to learn so you can get rid of Lolth, getting Confront by the Past. I do not play Confront by the Past in my sideboard, just FYI. So we're going to let Edgar resolve. I think we're supposed to Thirst for Discovery here. So I'm going to do that. No basic, but we got our Meat Hook Massacre, and I think that's what we're keeping. Discard those 2. And then I think I'm going to wait till my turn to use the Fading Hope. No, we can wait till their turn. So basically, I can go Meat on 2. And I think I do that. Perhaps we Duress first. See what they got going on. Outstanding. So I think we're good to Meat for 2 here, just to like clean up some of this nonsense. And then there's no way I can kill them, right? Let me see. We've got 1 Fading Hope, 2 Bloodchief's Thirst. Now that we have perfect information, let me see if I can win. I don't think I can, because I would need to activate Hive, meaning I would only have 3 available mana. I don't know if I need to take out the Lolth. I think that might be a trap. I think I might be trapping myself into misusing resources just to take out the Lolth. How can I take it out? I could just Bloodchief's Thirst the Lolth, I suppose. Maybe that's not that crazy. But like the amount of aggression they're going to have coming back my way is insane. I think I'm going to Meat Hook Massacre on 2. Maybe this is just strictly a mistake. I'm not sure. There was only 1 Shambling Gas, so it's not as if they can take out my Lier with it. They can make a treasure. It's like the best thing they can do. Go Lolth. What are we doing to Lolth? Bloodchief's Thirsting it? It's not as if I can attack. Yeah, I can't exactly attack Lolth, so I won't. And then after that, I have Power Word Kill plus, like, Fading Hope. They can't really get in on me super easy. Like, what can I do to Lolth? 2 spiders on their turn is fine. I think we can deal with that. Yeah, that's great. So I think we're just going to end the turn here. Because they kind of need to, like, defend themselves. If they just decide to, like... What? If they decide to draw a card and lose a life, if they don't find exactly it and a way to back it up because of the amount of card advantage I have access to, they could just die to combat damage. If they come in with Faceless and Edgar, we're looking at 8 damage, which will put us at 6. And we're the ones with the Meat Hook Massacre. Interesting game. Very interesting game. Very grindy game. They basically need to have it in the top 2 cards of their library. If they don't, the game, regardless of whether they make spiders or not, should end very quickly. Yes, 2/2/1 spiders. So did they draw it? Land. I suppose they have a Field of Ruin in their hand. I don't know why they didn't play the Field of Ruin. That can come in. I am very comfortable with both of those things attacking. I think I can afford to go to 6. Or sorry, 5. That Faceless Haven is very much a 5/4. Because Edgar pumps it because it's a vampire. Because Changeling is cool. How about 5? Is 5 comfortable? I think so. We're really just playing around whatever the last card in their hand is. They have no other man lands. So we're not going to block. You could DBZ Edgar. Here's the line I'm thinking about, and this is pretty agnostic of what could be in their hand, but I have Bloodchief's Thirst, and Fading Hope, and Power Word Kill. I have access to all these cards. So if they hit me and take me to 5 and pass to me, I think I can, like, Power Word Kill something that's untapped, like a spider, and then use the Bloodchief's Thirst and the Fading Hope to just let me get in for lethal. Because they didn't play their Field of Ruin for some reason, which maybe was a mistake, because they could have stopped me from lethaling them. But now the last card in their hand has to just be insane. So here they're just going to pass, and I've got the Fading Hope, so I think I can go ahead and Power Word Kill a spider. That'll put us at tied life total. If that last card in their hand's like Infernal Grasp or something, maybe we're in trouble. So Power Word Kill works. Their Loath gets a little bigger. They know they're dead. Alright, so they saw the line. They knew what I was going to do to them. The last card in their hand was, in fact, not gas. So yeah, I think we made a couple errors in the beginning of that game, but towards the end we were able to string it together. Good game, guys. So that's 2-1. Now we're 2-1. 2 more games to go in this little best of 5. And also, if you're watching this on MTG Zach Horizons, which doesn't exist as of the recording of this, the streaming of this video, thanks to all the patrons and our patron and our Discord server that helped us come up with that meme of a name. Check that out. Anyway, round 4. I do like this list. There's some iterations I might want to make. I don't think I like Siphon Insight. I know that CGB was doing Siphon Insight. I think that's better in best of 1 because you can get really weird and narrow on win cons when you're playing against like control decks that play devious cover up and stuff. So I could see that being the case. Alright, I get the power of choice again, which just seems fundamentally unfair. And I've got Sorin the Mirthless with Duress, Divide by 0, Thirst for Discovery. Basically, we're pretty good against not mono white. And I think I'll take that chance. It's a little bit awkward. I think I lead on Swamp even though I have the Thirst for Discovery just because I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to lead on Duress. That way if it is mono white, I at least have the chance to hit the Paladin class. It's just over the horizon. Thanks, Trigger. How you doing, buddy? Everyone say I had a trigger. He's supposed to be streaming today, but he's in finals week, so he's got his work cut out for him. Typically, I'd leave the swamp so I can use it for the Thirst for Discovery, but here I think that if I am playing against mono white, I want to at least try to hit Paladin class. Okay, so we're playing against Jund. We'll hit Lolth. That's a fine conversion. The Sentinels are going to be a bit of a pain in the ass, but that was always going to be the case. Alright, so we got another Duress. Not one that we can convert at the moment, so that's kind of awkward. But, yeah, we will play this on Blue. What if we Duress them and hit? What if we did that? It's too early. I want to do it, but it's too early. I'll just pass. It's finals and also it's desk time, boys. Calvin, how you doing, man? Hopefully well. Okay, what do we got going here? Our opponent's going to go land, second Sentinel, Prosperous Innkeeper. I'm going to draw, what's the name of that card? Meathook Massacre, and everything's going to be okay. Our opponent's in the tank, so they don't have anything. Even though I know 4 of the 6 cards in their hand. They're probably thinking about, am I supposed to play around Jwari Disruption right now? You're bringing a desk, that's how you're doing? Calvin, are you about to show up at my house? Because I'm definitely halfway through a stream right now. If I have to go to my door, it's because Calvin showed up. Lier, not bad. There's a couple things we could do here. We have a divide by 0, so we're going to do none of them. We're going to pass. Because if they don't do anything impactful enough, I'd be happy to just Thirst for Discovery here. Guy is not here. What? Guy? It's Monday. Guy's not going to be home today. He's going to be at work till 8 and then go to the Rickles. Here we go. Thirst for Discovery time. Show me non-basic land, basic land, 6 spell. Not quite. We have to pitch 2. We'll do Lier and Duress? Perhaps? Lier second, divide by 0. Yeah, then we'll go... I want to continue to hold up this divide, so we'll play this on, I don't know, black, and then I'll Duress my opponent. No hit. Although our opponent's rocking with some dead-ass cards right now. We'll just pass. What do you mean? He's got a key to my house. He doesn't need to pick my lock. Lair of the Hydra. Boo, stinky, yucky, go home. You're too drunk. Okay, you can come in. Okay. Okay, do I want to divide by 0 something? Because I don't have a whole lot of action next turn. Maybe I'm supposed to, like, get rid of a Prosperous Innkeeper. And, like, grab my, If I get rid of Prosperous Innkeeper, I can go grab my Teachings of the Archaics, play Jwari Disruption as a land, and then draw 2 cards. Meaning there's really no reason for me to take extra damage for no reason. I'm going to do that. Void, don't break the table. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. We're going to get Teachings. We'll take our 4 here. They have 4 in hand. Hopefully they do have a 1-drop, so I guess that was an oversight, but they decided not to do it. So they have 4 in hand, meaning that I can play Disruption, tapped, cast Teachings. They have more cards than me. So I'll draw 2. And now I have Consider. Do I have a Fading Hope? Have I used one of those yet? No. That'd be a great draw for when I have this Lier. Not more manlands. That's exactly the opposite of what I wanted to see. Alright, we have an Innkeeper coming in. They're probably just going to swing for 2. I don't think they want to crack their treasures just to deal 2 extra damage. So we'll take our damage. We're good boys. They're playing a Sentinel. That's fine. I'd really love to find a Meathook Massacre. Alright, is that a Meathook Massacre? It's not. I also don't know if I want it. I might want it. No, because if I play Sorin, I can be really rude with that card. But I don't know if I play Sorin just to like... No, if I play Sorin and minus it, and they attack everything into it, and I kill a thing and block a thing, and Sorin dies, I'm left with a 2-3 with flying and lifelink, and they have 2 less creatures. Also, if they activate a man land, it can get really sticky for them. Maybe I just take this. Okay, there's a basic. You love to see it. We currently don't have... We could just, like, play Lier and Duress them. And if they don't have a way to get out of Lier, I take a big swing of beats initially, and then I untap with just, like, honestly, not that much in my bin, now that I'm looking at it. I think I'm going to go with the Sorin play. Void thinks so, too. I think we're going to go with the Sorin play. We're going to play Sorin, -2. Watch this get countered. Watch them have, like, Disdainful Stroke. Be 4-color. Well, minus, make a 2-3. And if they get greedy and try to, like, Lair of the Hydra, I'm just going to kill it. But now they have to commit to, like, attacking into a 2-3 with flying and lifelink. And I'd be fine with them taking their turn to do that. Now, they've had a lot of draw steps, so these 2 cards could be anything. I have a trade offer. You're Den of the Bugbear for my Infernal Grasp. Let's fucking go. I'm really greedy. I want them to just go all in on Lair. So they activate it, and now we hope that they don't have the card, the Snakeskin Veil. Okay. No. Our opponent's in the tank. Alright, we're doing this. Den of the Bugbear's gotta go. Now they can elect to kill my Sorin. But I'm gonna untap and jam Lier, I think, if I do that. What's the best thing I can take out right now? Probably just a Sentinel. I go up to 11, and yeah, it looks like I get to untap with Lier. Like, they could still technically have the answer for Lier, so I could get really tricky and, like, wait. Guarantee my Lier has Divide by 0 backing it up. A little off-topic question. What are your takes on Storvald, Frost Giant Jarl? I'll have to take a look at it, Cataclysm. I'm not like immediately. That's not immediately ringing any bells. I could just Lier and hit them with a little Duress action. If they have it twice, I get screwed up. But maybe that's just the play. I'm gonna do that. I don't want to spend too much time thinking about it. Okay, doesn't matter. They definitely don't have it, so they're going to get buried under Lier and everything's good. Is this still legal music? It is. They're playing Jund, and they're pretty low to the ground, so I want to say Shadow's Verdict's going to be quite good. I don't know about Test of Talents. Are they like a Storm the Festival deck? Probably not. Maybe. Who knows? Go Blank's probably not where I want to be on the draw. Hermit could be not bad. I think that Sorin might, on the draw, turn out to be a little bit clunky. Same with maybe Duress. Could be like something I only want 2 of. When in doubt, Jund them out. Yep. Well, it didn't work that time. I think I'll try this configuration. Maybe my main board's pretty well tuned to like fight this strategy. Rays aren't good. Duress seems medium. I'm not going to bring any of my sideboard cards, like my Wishboard cards. Go Blank feels very... Even if I did want it, it would only be on the play, not the draw. Malevolent Hermit, probably not for the matchup. We'll see a little bit more about what their deck does in Game 2, but we'll try that. Let's fucking go! Show me. Show me what you have. They're trying to see if they're supposed to be on that techie on the draw plan to get the extra card, you know. Consider Divide by 0 is the most could be anything hand I've ever seen. This hand could be anything. The fact that it could be anything, but it has land drops that come into play in the sequence I'd like them to, with the Field of Ruin, and they have a lot of man lands, means I'm going to keep it, but be very uneasy about how these considers end up converting. Tap land, you love to see it. Drawing Lier, it's a little early, but I want to see it at some point, so it's not the worst thing ever. I probably want to start considering as fast as possible, so I'll play this on blue. This is where they play like a green pathway. Magda. Okay. Let's see if I can find a way to deal with Magda. That ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't it. Okay, we did not find a way to deal with Magda. It's time to panic. We'll play this tapped, and we will pass the turn. I'm panicking. There was a chance maybe I was supposed to consider... No, I've only got one blue source, so it wouldn't even matter if I found Fading Hope. And now they go Chariot because they're absolute fucking heroes of their own story. No, they're going to go Innkeeper. Alright, let's fucking go. Show me a Meat Hook Massacre. That ain't it. Go to my graveyard. Go home. You're drunk. Okay, we found another basic, which I guess will be good for Thirst. We'll play Shipwreck Marsh. There's like a myriad of things that could happen to us here. We're probably supposed to keep open Divide by 0, and if they don't do anything, Thirst for Discovery. I think we're still somewhat comfortable. Also, they missed a land drop. Meaning that maybe we're just supposed to, like, bounce the Magda. I don't know. It seems like they're going to want to convert their mana, and I'm going to be able to get a lot of use out of this Divide by 0 if they want to just go for something. So we'll take 3 here. Yeah, make your mana. Play Esika's Chariot. Use all your treasures. Let me put it back in your hand. And then Duress it. That'll be good. Immerstrom Predator. Well, they sure did use all of their treasures. I'll divide it. And then here, honestly, I'm not going to be able to make Teachings of the Archaics work. I've got 2 lands. Environmental Sciences could be good. It might just want to be Mascot Exhibition. I'm going to take Environmental Sciences just because my mana says maybe I'm supposed to just do that. I like this. Science. Okay, you know, Legacy's been in here in the chat helping out, and like many of you, and I love it whenever I make a decision and immediately see, do this thing, and I'm just like, I assume this person's smarter than me, so I'm very happy they agree. I'm going to go Swamp. I could just go Sedgemoor Witch Duress, but they might not have a 3rd land. I think I'm just going to take out this Magda right now. Like, regardless of what else I do, I think I'm just taking out Magda. And then I have 2 choices. I could Duress to see if maybe they're sandbagging a Chariot, or I could just Environmental Sciences. It would be an obvious Scientist if I didn't have my 5th land drop, but I in fact do have my 5th land drop. So, and I guess next turn I could pair Witch with Sciences. I'm gonna Duress our opponent. This Science you got the time, Legacy, I went with a different play. I think your play may have been correct. I'm glad I got the Go Blank, though. I'm going to be honest. I wasn't planning to get a Go Blank. We got lucky there. Yeah, we got lucky, Legacy. I think your line was better than mine. I think that was a happy little accident we ran into. We've got to Divide by 0. They can't currently take out our Lier if we just jam it. Like, they can't. The annoying thing is that the Immerstrom's going to start to tax our bin. The first thing they're going to do is take the Divide by 0 out if they're smart. I put our opponent on being pretty smart. Maybe I'm just supposed to... Yeah, I'm gonna do the initial line, which is Witch plus Sciences. Go a little wide. Make sure they can't really get in with anything but the Predator. We've got black, black, black. Blue, blue, blue. I've got Witch. I've got a Lier. Likely want to double spell. We're going to get blue here. Go blank would have been rough, yeah. And I would have felt a lot better about the play if I like started with like, they could have Go Plink, I'm going to Duress them. But we didn't do that. I was like, oh, probably Duress because I don't know, I'm scared. And it worked out, but like, I would feel better if I was able to like explain why I wanted to do that first. But honestly, I just didn't really put much thought into it. Probably should have. They probably just pump Predator, attack me for 4 and keep that little clock going. Can't really attack with anything else. I mean, they could, but I don't know how good it would be. They're going to take out our... Oh, they take out Infernal Grasp. I would have taken out Divide by Zero, potentially. Or maybe they're trying to protect their Stormseeker from Lier now. That could be a thing that they want to do. Don't hate drawing the land here. We're really interested in finding... We're really interested in finding ourselves a little... What's the name of that card? Meathook Massacre here. Meaning I don't want to extend the Sedgemoor Witch. I think I'm going to Thirst now, just in case I can find a Fading Hope. Yeah, I think I'm going to Thirst now. Since my mana is so good, I think I can hold up the Field of Ruin just to like disincentivize them from manning up one of their man lands and trying to race me because I am at 9. But I think a Fading Hope would be pretty cool. We didn't find it, but we found some other candy. Like this Divide by Zero could wind up being quite good. Like, I'll wind up dividing the Immerstrom Predator after they trigger Reckless Stormseeker. Ouch. Yeah, ouch indeed. It would have been really nice to hit, Well, this is interesting. I would have done combat before any of this, personally. Because now what? You jam Magda and... Man, they're in deep shit if I ever find a, any of my board wipes, honestly. Yeah, I'm very comfortable with Magda. I'm now dividing Immerstrom Predators easy. Because you don't gain Hexproof, do you, buddy? You don't. So that's fine. I am very comfortable with that. You gotta go, though, dude. You're drunk. Here, I suppose I'm comfortable just getting Mascot Exhibition. Now what? You're going to attack with Magda and make a treasure? Like, that's an easy trade for me. Yeah, absolutely. I will take the world's easiest trade. We found another Divide by Zero, which now it's getting bad for our opponent. For a little bit there, they had a game to play, but now it's getting hard. They're going to start having a lot of trouble here. We can like even wait. We can wait another turn for Lier, and I don't see why we wouldn't. We're just going to play another Sedgemoor Witch. You know, not let that thing flip over. We're going to keep having Sedgemoor Witches. We've got Consider, and at some point we're going to untap with a Lier. I think our opponent's in a bad spot, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, they're going Predator. I'm just uninterested in letting that happen, so I'm going to divide it. Make a couple dudes. Yep, they just die. They saw the writing on the wall. That's a 3-1. Our opponent, I think the game before this, I think I played pretty poorly. This game, I think our opponent maybe played pretty poorly. I'm not going to get too into all the different lines they could have taken, but I just think they took some suboptimal lines, and I don't know if they would have won the game anyway. We ended up drawing very well, but they probably could have positioned themselves a bit better. Meaning we're 3-1, and if we can win the next game, we'll be 4-1, and that'll be pretty okay. For this is the first video being streamed with intention to be re-uploaded as a video on demand. So let's just go into it. Again, GG Legacy. Thanks to everyone watching. Thanks for everyone who stuck around after the raid. That's certainly appreciated. We will be raiding after this, FYI. I have no clue who yet, but we're raiding someone. I have to refigure out how to do it. Calvin handled the last raid. If this is your first time on the channel, we do a lot of Commander. So if you're into Commander, check out Sundays where we do live paper Commander from Pandemonium Games and Hobbies. If you like Commander and you're just coming here, check out MTG The Stack on YouTube. It's the main channel. We've got recorded, produced videos that I'm pretty proud of. I'm sure Calvin, the other host of this channel, is pretty proud of. Maybe you guys want to check them out if you like Commander. If not, check out MTG The Stack Horizons. It doesn't exist yet, but it will. Even 3-2 would be neat, so we are good either way. Yeah, I'd take a 3-2. My first time running this deck, I'd be fine with that. I go first. I've got to consider Meathook Massacre or Lier Disciple of the Drowned. I can consider into some options. Meathook Massacre should give me some fighting power against the mono-white decks. I'll keep this. It's a little awkward. I'll lead on island. Hold this island for a potential thirst for knowledge. Play Clearwater on blue, then Shipwreck Marsh, yada yada yada. You get it. So let's do this. That's a red source. I have to assume that they probably, if they have creatures, they're dragons. So I'm going to bin that. Draw Duress. That Duress is maybe best case scenario. I'm just going to find out what's up now. What do you got going on, dude? Show me what you got, bro. I just want to see what's in your hand. It's not that serious. Yeah, that's what I thought. We're playing against turns. So we've got Divide by Zero, Cinderclasm, Unexpected Windfall, Alrund's Epiphany, Thundering Rebuke, Memory Deluge. And it feels to me, right, like they kept a very land-light hand. And that hitting their Divide by Zero might not be the worst play. I could take the Epiphany and just play for the long game value. I could also take the Unexpected Windfall. Cinderclasm's not the worst because it can stop me from witching out, but I don't even have a witch right now. So I'm right now I'm between hitting Alrund's Epiphany and it's like Alrund's Epiphany, Unexpected Windfall, or Divide by Zero. Which one of those is it? And I want to say Windfall or DBZ would be your take, yeah. I'm really staring at this Alrund's Epiphany because next turn they're going to be able to tuck it. But if I hit Divide by Zero, it's going to be hard for them to get to 4 mana for Windfall. So I think I will get the DBZ. Now, for all I know, they're just going to play an on-tap land and it's going to be bad. But we find a witch. Interesting. Now we can jam a witch here and see if they want to deal with it immediately. Because if they want to Thundering Rebuke a witch, that means the Thundering Rebuke's not going to hit the Lier. So I think I'm going to force the issue. We'll see what they want to do. I wouldn't be surprised if they just kick Cinderclasm. No, they're going to tuck, which is phenomenal news for us. We'll get busy. We're gonna ride this witch for a little bit now. We'll see what they want to do about it. Pass. I would like to consider. I'm never going to tap under 3 because if they want to kick Cinderclasm, I'm happy dividing it. Going to get myself a Teachings of the Archaics. No, I think I'll take a land. Now they have to be thinking about just kicking Cinderclasm. They haven't done it yet. Doing it on my turn makes a lot more sense. We'll play this on blue, 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 black, black, black. Play it on black. And then we will just get in. Wow, this is amazing. If I were them, I would have kicked Cinderclasm on my upkeep or something. Because even though they still haven't kicked Cinderclasm, this is getting a little bit wild. They're getting a little bit bold. I don't know how much damage they can afford to take from this thing, but it can't be much more. We're just going to keep getting in. Go ahead. They're going to Memory Deluge. We're not going to interact with that. What now? You'd like to kick Cinderclasm? I'd like to Divide by Zero. I'd like to see what you got. I'd like to get Teachings of the Archaics. Now if they want to Thundering Rebuke my Sedgemoor Witch, they gotta pay 3 life. That'll put them at 6. I attack them for 2. They're gonna Braid, they still gotta pay 3 life. They're gonna go to 4. Do I have any man lands? No. I'll bop them for 4. And then I guess I could just play Lier. Where does that put me? I've got Duress. Like, I could just drop a Lier. The only problem is we know what's underneath here. And if they play a land, then they can just Epiphany. That's a bit miserable. I could just do nothing. I'd like to kick in your teeth, sir, or madam. Should be flavor text for DBZ. Yeah, I agree. No, I think I'm comfortable just... I'll just draw some cards, dude. Cool. Cool. Pass. I'm just gonna jam on these two and make them stress about them. If they just go for it here, they're actually dead. They die on the spot if they go for an Epiphany. Cinderclasm. If I DBZ, they'll have to recast, and if they recast, they're very unlikely to be able to deal with this Lier that I'll play after. So that's interesting. Meat hook yourself? Oh yeah, that's the play. Like, if I can get this to work, I'm just going to meat hook myself. I think I want to divide that by 0. Make them do it again. Maybe that's simply a Timmy play. I think Calvin's trying to get into my house right now. I think I'm going to divide that. Let's see what happens here. Also, I don't mind getting my mascot exhibition. I don't mind that at all. Now they're gonna Cinderclasm. I'll gain 2. Now I can just play my Lier. I bet they don't have Disdainful Stroke. What else could I do? I could, like, Mascot Exhibition planning the meat hook, but then they can just take extra turns, and I don't love that. If I play my Lier, they can, like, kill it with Thundering Rebuke and hold up mana, and I don't love that either. I could divide my own Lier by 0. Regardless, we're playing our land for turn. They can't windfall if they want to kill the pest. Right, exactly. And I don't want them to windfall. I want to choke them up as much as possible. I have them at 4 here, which is kind of where I'd like them to be. I could also, like, Lier and, like, Duress them. And just get out their known way to deal with Lier. I'm pretty sure I don't do nothing. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to jam Lier here. So I have the Lier. I've got Duress. But I think I need to keep a divide by 0 locked and loaded. Yeah, I think so. I'll divide by 0 my own Lier. If they have the interaction for it, that's fine. So they're going to divide by 0. I'm pretty comfortable divide by 0ing my own Lier. That way they kind of have to do something about it. If this works, I just get to Lier again. I'll get environmental. We played against a good spread today. Different matchups, so I'm pretty happy about that. We got a Sedgemoor Witch, and, like, I just want to play that, kind of. We've got another DBZ. If I play Sedgemoor Witch, I can just, like, environmental pass and just force the issue. They've used 2 Cinderclasms. 1, and... No, they've only used 1, because I made them bounce it. That's right. But perhaps that's just the play. Just play... I think I'm going to play out my Sedgemoor Witch. That's what we're going to do. Here's my witch. Here's my witchy lady. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to also environmental sciences. Hold up my divide by 0. It'll be great. It just represent lethal. There's that too. Drop a land and then pass. They'll want to windfall here, which is kind of miserable. Now we could divide by 0 the windfall, because if they have, like, a, what's the name of the card? A, Galvanic Iteration, we could end up dying very quickly here. But if we just hit this, then they're just going to cast their Alrund's Epiphany, and God knows where they go from there. Also, they could just naturally land drop into it, so we just let this resolve. Show me what you got, dude. Also, this Sedgemoor Witch just straight up, like, It represents so much. Okay, so they're going to do it. I'm going to divide it. We're going to start this whole thing where we have to play Magic with one another. Oh, they die. Okay, cool. They couldn't handle Sedgemoor Witch, which, to be fair, a lot of decks can't. This matchup is one we haven't seen so far today, but it's the matchup the Malevolent Hermits and the Test of Talents and the Go Blanks are for. And then we're going to take out a lot of our, like, Power Word Kill is very bad against that deck. Meathook Massacre, I like it. I think I'm comfortable going down to 1 of it, though. Sorin the Mirthless is also a card, like, technically it's a win condition you can just resolve and, like, go. But I don't have high hopes of, like, Sorin actually having any real survivability. So I'm going to cut him. He seems like fat. We want to be as efficient as possible in this matchup. Same with Fading Hope. It's not very good against them. We want some number of it. Did we cut our Power Word Kill or did we cut something else? No, yeah, Power Word Kill. They got dragons, especially post-board. We don't want our Power Word Kill. I think I do want to trim a copy of Consider. And then from there, it gets a little weird. We start to trim a little bit on removal, like maybe 1 to 2 Bloodchief Thirsts. I could see cutting a Divide by 0 just because our 3-drop spot is quite gunked up. I think I'll also do a second Bloodchief Thirst. Something like this, I think, is where I want to be game 2 against Izzet Epiphany. Legacy, yeah, they played very miserably. I want this drink, not that drink. In fairness, Izzet Epiphany is kind of a difficult deck to play. But that wasn't it. Now, this hand has some glaring issues. If it had a Consider, it would be a Snap Keep. If it had a 3rd land, it would be a Snap Keep. I think this is a hesitant keep. I've got both my colors, 2 of my best cards in the matchup from my sideboard, and then 2 of my best cards on my main board. So I'm going to keep this, and hopefully we draw our 3rd land. Yahoo. I will lead on Duress. I just want to see what's up. Until I drew the Consider. No, I still want to lead on Duress. I just want to not let them foretell their thing. Alright, Alrund's Epiphany, negate, Galvanic Iteration, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. I think I'm supposed to hit Epiphany here. I just don't want them to have any time to tuck this. At all. I am uninterested in them tucking their Epiphany. On the flip side, if I let them tuck it, like I'm taking Alrund's, but on the flip side, if I let them tuck it, like it opens up Test of Talents on it, but I think I'm just going to take it. Here, honestly, yeah, I'm just going to drop the Jwari Disruption as a land. Play this on black. Life should be good. Yep, we'll play this on black. No, blue. No, we want this on blue. I lied. And then we'll just, now we can just start passing the turn and doing our thing. At some point, they're going to be incentivized to Thirst for Knowledge. They're going to be incentivized to Memory Deluge. They're going to be incentivized to do something. They're going to be incentivized to Expressive Iteration. I am completely fine burning a Test of Talents on Expressive Iteration. Let's take a look at their hand. Galvanic Iteration, just kind of a bunch of chaff. Take Expressive. Take a look at what their sideboard configuration looks like. Did they bring any Goldspan Dragons? That'll help us sideboard next game if we lose this game. We've got a Lier. They're doing like the 1 of 2 of Lier. There's the second Lier. They're doing 3. 1 Hullbreaker. So we were right to leave some number of removal spells, but that's basically it. And then we'll take out this Expressive. And it looks like they've trimmed a 3rd Expressive to make room for some of this stuff. I'm not a fan of that play pattern. But there, they've done that. They play this. They pass. They've got these. I'm very comfortable with them negating our Consider. Don't care. Put that into my graveyard. I think I'll pass. I think that card probably kills our opponent. We can't play it on curve, unfortunately. But we can drop this Jwari Disruption, or as a Jwari Ruins. And then they can what? Nothing. Here's this. Here's my Malevolent Hermit, dude. Alright, now next turn we're going to be able to like go Sedgemoor Witch into Fading Hope and just probably beat our opponent down. The Celestus is like how they get back into this game. Nah, I'm good. I'm going to pass on you having a Celestus. There they go. They play the Jwari as a land, and this opens us up to just play Sedgemoor Witch and start to ride it, right? Isn't Expressive like one of, if not the best card in Standard? It's one of the best cards in Modern. It's like the best card in Izzet color pairing in Standard, which might mean it's just the best card in Standard. But you got some more wiggle room on that one than you might usually. Here I'm just gonna start attacking. I know their hand is just Divide by 0 and Friends. Like I don't care to interact with them at all. I'm just gonna start attacking for 3. I'm gonna make them eventually decide to do something. Redrew a land, which is just phenomenal. We'll just end. I guess we could Thirst here. Force them to use their Divide. They could have a Hullbreaker Horror, right? But we've got these Fading Hopes, so we don't really care. If I Thirst for Discovery, a line they can take is they can Galvanic Iteration and then cast Divide by 0 to attempt to bounce the Thirst for Discovery and the Sedgemoor Witch. I could Test of Talents the one targeting the Sedgemoor Witch and get the rest of the Divide by 0s out of their deck, provided the one targeting my Sedgemoor Witch is the original. I could also just elect to not do anything until they do. I'm going to do that. I'm going to elect to do nothing until they do something. You think so, Legacy? You could be right. You could be very right about us just needing to hit our land drops. What's the maximum blowout here? That's the thing I'm the most afraid of, is them like sequencing their Divide by 0 properly and hitting our Sedgemoor Witch with the copy. Although I think Test of Talent still works the way we want it to if we do it that way. Yeah, we are definitely going to Thirst on their turn. I'm not going to tap my mana on our turn. We're going to definitely do it this time. We're kind of forced into it. We do need to like keep up on land drops. That's how we lose the game. We probably already made some degree of mistake by waiting as long as we did. So now we're going to thirst for Discovery. No, I don't want to jam the second Hermit. I think I'm going to Thirst and force the issue. So they divide. Now we can test here. We can test, and then they could negate the test. If we negate the Test of Talents, or yeah, if we Test of Talents, their Divide by 0. They'll negate the Test of Talents. Their Divide by 0 will resolve. We'll be down the test. Okay, I think this all just resolves. Terrorism. Adrian, it's really strange to hear you talking through your thought process. I'm way used to being on the other side of the table from you. I'm sorry, I don't know your handle. Ty Stream, Adrian. Who is this? Because clearly you're someone I know. Yeah, we're just gonna go. We're just gonna go. It's Derek. Derek, what's up, man? Yeah, Derek, you guys just saw Derek on the Sunday stream. He came to play some Commander with us. Now we're gonna jam in for 4 for sure. Get them down to a nice crisp 7, and then they can't negate a Malevolent Hermit. I know that. So we're gonna jam Malevolent Hermit. Force them to take some sort of action. They're going to divide the Malevolent Hermit by 0. What if I Test of Talents that? Then they can't cast 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then they can't Epiphany. If I test it, oof. That's what we're going to do. Hopefully this isn't a mistake. Test of Talents, divide by 0. Sedgemoor Witch triggers, make a token. Get rid of that. Look through your hand. Nope, it's just an unexpected windfall. We don't care about that. Beep, beep. Beep, 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 beep. Goodbye, everybody. Pass turn. Oh yeah, did y'all catch Derek just beat our faces in with the Reaper King? Well that's awkward. We let it happen. We've got another one in the bin. For whatever reason, I feel like holding up Fading Hope could be something that winds up mattering. Galvanic Iteration for double. Yeah, they're going to Galvanic, right? And then they're going to cast 2 Windfalls and make 4 treasures and draw 4 cards. Should have seen that coming. Flipping Foley and Omniscience is generically a mistake. And I did it. I gave Foley and Omniscience like a fucking idiot. I didn't mean to. I can control it, but it happened. I'm happy to see the land. I'm also happy to crash in for 5. They're gonna Fading Hope my token. I mean, they kind of have to do that. Yeah, they don't have any Divide by Zeros left. So I think our play is to Hermit into Go Blank. Foley, what up, baby? Remember that time when you Omniscienced? Because I flipped you 5 heads? That was fun. Yeah, this could be wrong. This could be wrong. But here's my Malevolent Hermit. And here's my Go Blank. If they remove the Hermit, deal with the Go Blank, and have everything, I guess we die. Potentially. But I want to get that Galvanic Iteration out of their bin. They also just can't deal with the Sedgemoor Witch. If they target it, they die. So that's something too. They've got 1 in hand, so it's probably like a extra turn spell. Which ain't it. Like, they have to just draw every extra turn spell in a row. There's 1 Elrond's Epiphany. Cool. There's Lier. They don't have a graveyard. That's game. We are done here. How do you want to do it? I guess we'll go Fading Hope, Lier. Yeah. Okay, they're dead. That was the end of that game went about as awful as it could have for them. So there's that. Also, a little bit of ending upkeep for anyone interested. We will be re-uploading this to a channel that's not even alive yet, doesn't exist, called MTG The Stack Horizons. We've talked about that a few times. I'm gonna kind of put in a quick sideboard guide in the description of this video as well. Probably should have said that in the beginning. Take it with a grain of salt. There are better players than me out there, a lot of them. But I'll just give you kind of an idea on how I sideboarded. Also a 4-1 day, not too bad. And thank you so much for the raid. Meebo, I think, is who did it. That was pretty awesome of you. Now what I'm going to do here is I am going to I'm going to open up a little bit of a Google Chrome tab.